Ndị be anyị kenekwanụ m unu. Anyị si ka nke onye chiri ya zerụkwa. Anyị si n'ụbọchị nke taa dịrị na anyị na mma, na ihe ya dịka echi na echi ada agwụ agwụ, otu anyị kwuru otu akọ ya dịrịrị. Ise ise ise. Dịka o si dị, ihe a bụ Eastern News 24 ka anyị si na-ewetara ya bụ ozi ọnụ ụjọ gị na ugbu a n'iru akwụkwọ gbasịta maka ya bụ ife unu na anụ na-eme n'obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya, anụ nwere onwe a na-azụ n'ala Igbo. Ya bụ ife ka na-ewetara na Eastern News 24. Ya wetara n'iru akwụkwọ bụ n'ụbọchị nke taa bụ according to one of the Biafran activists, and he quotes, Biafran in diaspora react as Biafran Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Ngozi Orabueze finally exposed the truth about Mazi Simon Ekpa's Finnish local police investigation. Hear the news in details. All right, according to Yaboze Wetelunu Nobosinketa, Yab update ndị Biafra na-achọ ịnụ since dịka the Deputy Prime Minister kwuru okwu, ya bụ okwu ka anyị wetara unu kwunu ga-enye ozi o were izu ndị Igbo and izi ndị Biafrans. All right, over to you.
We are waiting to hear what Finland is going to come up with. Like we all know, they said they finished the investigation that is wrought with deceit and with transnational repression, investigation that is wrought with lies, investigation that is wrought with injustice. Again, it's just based on the little information they've released. According to them, they will now hand over the investigation to maybe another department, the Justice Department of Finland, that can now come up with any indictment if there is any. But from the information they've released so far, we know that Finland has done a very bad job, injustice to self-determination and the self-defense of the innocent indigenous Biafrans and other indigenous Nigerians. It is obvious that all the human rights abuses and all the injustices that have been reported to Finland, they neglected that. They've neglected that to, according to them, investigate a wide range of terrorist group. We are the terrorist group that Finland is referring to, nobody else. So if Finland could succumb to what Nigeria, the terrorist state, as of yesterday, today, the Nigerian government has killed 4 innocent children in I think it's either Oru State or one of our Biafra states, in the Biafra territory. Nigeria is the terrorist, not we, not Biafran. So Finland, you need to get that clear first. You need to know who is committing the act of terrorism. As of today, the Nigerian state, headed by Tinubu and Christopher Musa, continues to unleash act of terrorism against innocent Biafrans. They killed 4 innocent children today in Biafra land. Finland, that is terrorism. Right there. That is terrorism. If you do not know what terrorism means, Nigeria is a terrorist state. So when Finland neglects the terrorist state of Nigeria and labels innocent Biafrans a terrorist group, who told Finland that indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, who told Finland that we are terrorists? Who gave that labeling? Because they said it. So is it Nigerian terrorist state, Tinubu, Christopher Musa, Bianca Ojukwu that reported, Tinubu that reported to you, Finland, that we, IPOB, that we are terrorists? Then you believe them, right? You believed the lies perpetuated by the Nigerian state because you want to enjoy economic gain from Nigeria. You want to milk that oil that comes from Biafra land. And based on that, you've joined the terrorist state of Defense Chief Christopher Musa of Nigeria to label Biafrans as terrorists, right? We are waiting for the indictments that you, Finland, is going to come up with. Biafra, we are a sovereign nation, and we are waiting for that. We are waiting to see how this game will end between Finland, Nigeria, and the United States of Biafra. according to the Finland Criminal Police Bureau Department, they went on this nationwide investigation, both in Nigeria and everywhere. I don't even know, everywhere, possibly America. I believe they told the American government that I am a terrorist, and they needed that investigation. But guess what? America told Finland to go to hell.
Yes.
America told Finland to go to hell. You have no clue what you are talking about. How can you leave the Nigerian terrorist state? President Tinubu, that is the real terrorist, and you are trying to label people like us as terrorists. They tried. I'm telling you, Finland approached America, but they failed woefully. Woefully, because America is a country that is built on the rights of the citizens. They know what being independent means. They know what self-determination means. They will know what self-defense means. So when Finland came with that globalist agenda, they are operating in Europe with Netherlands, with Norway. America told them to go to hell. That is why they could not proceed with their lies, with their fake investigation in America. But did they try? Yes, they did. Did they inform American FBI? Yes, they did. I know they did. So we are waiting. We are waiting for
Right.
We are waiting to see how it's going to end up. How our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, who is defending our land, defending people from this Nigerian terrorist state, we are waiting to see how Finland is going to label our Prime Minister a terrorist person, a terrorist sponsor. They've already labeled some innocent Biafrans as terrorist financiers. Remember, Finland arrested 4 innocent Biafrans alongside our Prime Minister. And according to them, they investigated. We have all the questions they asked these innocent individuals, innocent Biafrans. Finland labeled them terrorist financiers just because they do not want to cohabit in a country with people with reintegrated terrorists. Biafrans do not want to live with Nigeria that reintegrates and rehabilitates non-terrorists into the country. Hire them into the military, into the police, give them AK-47, send them to southeast, southwest, all parts of Nigeria to kill innocent and indigenous Christians. That is what Nigeria do today as we speak. That is why Finland colluded and tried to label innocent Biafrans as terrorist financiers just because of what you and I do today. Raising money to build our new nation, Biafra. Raising money to defend our people from the terrorist state of Nigeria that today has killed 4 innocent children in Biafra land. I believe that information is already on the table of the Finland Criminal Police Department. Biafrans, make sure we send it to them. So who is the terrorist? That is the question. I want every international community, international leader to ask Finland, who is the terrorist? Is it Nigerian state that have been labeled as the most dangerous country for Christians to live in? And you think that just happened? No, it didn't just happen. Nigeria, President Tinubu, Christopher Musa, we are part of these. They facilitated the reintegration of terrorists into Nigeria. That is why today Nigeria has been labeled as the most dangerous country in the world for Christians to exist. So Finland, didn't you read that? Are you not aware of this? Who is a terrorist? Is this the Nigerian state? You should be ashamed of yourself to even attempt to label us terrorists, and you allow Nigeria and their government that is the terrorist people to go free. Finland, you should label Nigeria a terrorist state because you have the reports, all the human rights abuses. You have it on your table, Alexander Stubb. You have those reports on your table. apart from our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa making those formal reports to you of those human rights abuses, those killings, those reintegration of terrorists into the Nigerian state, which is a policy of the Nigerian state. You have it on your table. How do you make the world a better place? When you leave the terrorists and you are going after innocent indigenous Biafrans, indigenous Christians in Nigeria, you are labeling terrorists because you want to milk the honey, the oil from the Biafra state. You want to have economic collaboration with Nigerian terrorist state. That is why you've lost your conscience. Your integrity is at stake at this point. Finland, under Alexander Stubb, whatever your name is, your integrity is at stake because you are fully aware of the criminal. You are fully aware of the terrorists. You are fully aware of who is committing the crime. But you turn a blind eye because you want to sign economic partnership with Nigeria. Nothing else. That is it. But you signed under the United Nations, under the European Union, to make the world a better place. You signed to report human rights abuses to the European Union Human Rights Commission. Finland, have you done that? As we speak today, all the several emails Biafran sent to you about the killings, about the human rights abuses, it is on the table of the Finland police, criminal police department, Bureau. You have all those reports. What have you done with them? We are going to see how this game is going to end. Since you've decided to collude with the Nigerian state, we have taken this case to the appropriate quarters, Biafrans and the international world, and we will see how this is going to end. I want to also use this to remember our Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu, who is going through almost the same thing. The same thing in the Nigeria DSS dungeon. The same thing. They just ask to let their people go. Let their people be free. Let their people live in a country where they do not have reintegrated terrorists, because such a country can never move forward. Such a country cannot progress. The people in such a country can never attain the highest level, the God-given strength they have. They cannot develop because the terrorists will continue to strike. The terrorists will continue to take over their homes, destroy their farmlands, kill them and harvest their organs. That is all that Nnamdi Kanu have said. And Nigeria plotted and planned with the Kenyan government. Kidnapped him in Kenya and brought him to Nigeria. So where is the justice? Where is the peace? And you think you will go free after doing all this? And you think the world will be a better place? No. Violence begets violence. When you engage in act of terrorism by kidnapping Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, bundled him to Nigeria without going through the due process of extraditing a British citizen from Kenya to Nigeria. When you don't go through that process, that means you have made the world a bad place, a very dangerous place. That's what Nigeria has promoted. That is what Kenya has promoted. And that's exactly what Finland is promoting at this time. And you think if you take away Nnamdi Kanu, and you think if you take away Simon Ekpa, you will stop the independence of the United States of Biafra. You failed, because United States of Biafra is now an independent state. We declared our independence in Finland on November the 29th, 2024. It is in the world history. Nobody can stop that. We are a free nation, and we will continue to engage in activities that make us a sovereign state. Nobody can stop that. We have the 40 states of the United States of Biafra. We have the Biafran army. We have the Biafran generals. We have the executives of the 40 states, 15 counties in every state, with the wards and the districts. these individuals must continue to protect the sovereignty of the United States of Biafra. It is our right to do that. It is their right to do that. So taking away Nnamdi Kanu and taking away Simon Ekpa and labeling a whole people, the indigenous people of Biafra, labeling them as terrorists, which was done by the criminal Nigerian state. And you think that we stop what we do? No way. No. The earlier you let Nnamdi Kanu go, leave him alone. Leave Simon Ekpa alone. Allow us to build our new nation. Allow us to build one of the best and one of the freest country in the world, in Africa, United States of Biafra. Allow us to develop at our fullest God-given potential. You must allow us to do that. You have no choice than to allow us to do that. We have the right to do that. We have the right to self-determination. We have the right to choose our leaders, which over 50 million Biafrans have done through a self-referendum conducted both online and in homeland. We voted, and 99.9% of that voted to exit Nigeria. That is exactly what we have done. There is nothing you can do about that. I promise you. I promise you. The earlier you leave us to build our nation, the better. The earlier you leave Nnamdi Kanu alone, the better. The earlier you leave our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa alone, the better. This battle, you will never win it. Currently, Nigeria is occupying a foreign land, and that is a terrorist act on its own. They've killed 4 innocent children today, or just yesterday, with their helicopters. President Tinubu and Christopher Musa instructed them to kill those innocent children in Biafra territory. That is a terrorist act. We must defend our
ndị be anyị ngwadalụ ole nenu dịka unu si wee na-esola n'iru akwụkwọ n'ihe nke anyị na-eme na Eastern News 24. Ka efi were ikwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ife ndị a niile nọ n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nke taa. Ka efi wee ikwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ife drọpụrụ ife iche n'ụdị nke gị ngwa nke mesịa na ụmụnne m.